to spending the last couple of hours of 1399 with one of my longtime friends and talented artists, Sami Beigi. So without any further ado, let's open up the screen and show his good-looking face. Sami, what's up, dog?
What's up, my man? How are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, man. Pisha Eid Mubarak. I really appreciate you joining us this evening and making our program much more enjoyable to watch, man. How are you? How's life? And are you ready for Norouz?
I'm very good.
I can hear you fine. Anush, can you confirm?
Yeah, he's better now because it's close to the mic. Yeah.
All right.
He's good.
He's better now.
You can talk whatever you want, and then when you prefer, go to that little area.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, actually, you just sounded better right now too. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I'm closer to the mic.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well, cool, man. I mean, this is like the first quarter of what seems to be a marathon. So you're catching me while I still have a lot of energy, and I hope that the energy will continue the next 20 hours.
How you doing it? Are you trying to break a record or something? Do you have like people from Guinness?
Yeah. You know what? I just I was like, I think I was trying to make up for the fact that for a year we haven't had any parties, any concerts, any whatever. And I was like, listen, man, if I'm gonna do a goddamn live stream, it's not gonna be for 30 minutes for an hour. I want to do the whole 24 misacharo. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I was thinking, but
you should have gone all the way to Seize the Vedat instead.
my team might kick my ass for even contemplating such crazy ideas. So don't do that.
I'm not opening my mouth.
Because you know what? Actually, Anush, I was asking him 2-3 weeks ago. I was like, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing a live stream. Are you down? And then over text, he jokingly said, only if it's 24 hours. I was like, as a matter of fact, it is 24. He's like, no, not again, please. So it's funny how you brought that up. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this, Hassan. Awashid b'shama. This is a good thing you've been doing, and a lot of positive energy to you. I'm sure that you will see the reflection of this effort that you're putting in your future ventures, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. And in the meantime, anybody that's watching, if you have certain questions that you want me to possibly ask, I might be able to squeeze them in. Or if you have any kind of great memory from a Sami Beigi concert, why don't you drop it? Because I know you guys are all waiting for concerts to happen, especially with Sami on stage. So someone, man, I want to first actually start off by saying like that podcast episode that we did, man, it really like touched a lot of people. And so first of all, thank you so much for being so open about so many things that most people would never even talk about. And I hope that you yourself get a sense of like, I don't know, what do you feel when I screenshot some of the messages to you and stuff, and I'm just wondering, like, do you feel that you're making an impact on people's lives by just being more honest and more vulnerable, and like, are you trying to proactively do that more now than you did before, or what are your thoughts about that in general?
First of all, let me tell you, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed for having such great fans, because let me tell you, like the amount of love I get from my fans, and how positive they are, and it's like how pure it is. I don't have any negative comments or any negative vibes on my social media. Khoda ro shukr, thank God. And especially with all these things going on with different artists, I see how much negative thing they're having, and I don't agree with the thing that they say all publicity is good publicity. I think you should have some boundaries, and you should have some respect for your audience. So basically, I'm real. That's who I am, and I don't feel that like I've been different on that podcast than I've been anywhere else. This is how I am. If you ask me a question, I'll be straight on with you. You asked me about some personal questions, and I was straight on point, and I told you right off what I feel, and just the truth. That's the only way. I've always been like this, and my fans are so pure, and I love them so much. I can't, especially like in recent times, because I'm not that active on social media, as you know.
Yeah.
But the amount of love that I get from them, it's amazing. It's just I don't know what I've done to deserve it, but I just think that it comes from me being pure and real, and not ever lying to them about anything about myself, my career, or what I've been doing, and how I live. and I was just being honest to my fans, and I think that's why.
True, man. So what are your first of all, what are you doing for Salat Tadbil? Are you doing something with like
I'm doing
friends or
this.
family?
I'm doing this.
عجب افتخاری دید، عجب افتخاری.
عجیب تو ولی نه، ولی خب دیگه امسال که همه چی بالا پایینه دیگه. Everything has been upside down and this
Yeah.
is one of them. ولی خب at least خدا پدر مادر تو رو بیامرزه که شما بالاخره یه کاری کردی که همه تو این وضعیت دور هم دیگه باشن. I actually looked forward to something.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So speaking of looking forward to something, when do you see yourself back on stage? Like realistically, like do you ever kind of think about it, or are you just kind of like going with the flow, or like are you like starting to put like certain dates in your future?
When they let us, man, when they let us. I've been hearing something about July in US, and that's what I'm thinking. As soon as they let us go out, because as you know, I just released the album before this pandemic happened, and I was ready to go on a world tour. So everything was set up, and we were ready to go on the start line. And
Yeah.
it happened. So we're just ready to pick up where we started, and just go. So as soon as the regulation is done and people are vaccinated and it's open for us to do it, we'll do it.
I have a feeling you're going to break a lot of regulations when you have your concert. It's not going to be a very easily socially distanced concert, unfortunately. So good luck to that one, you know. But I know last time you said, just for people who didn't watch the podcast, I think you're trying to do like a US tour first. Like that's kind of like the main thing, that you want to hit a lot of cities this time around, correct?
Yes, that's actually a decision we made during the pandemic, because before we were going throughout the world, we were doing the regular tour. But now, since we feel the need that to tour the US more than ever.
Man, you know what I think you should do, and I'll be more than happy to join with our team and do this, but you should get a nice little tour bus and then do like a 2 month around the US tour bus style, you know, and then just document the whole thing, make it an epic freaking documentary.
We actually thought about that too, but if you see me, how grumpy I am when I'm flying, you,
چه برسه به اتوبوس.
you would not want to be on a bus with me, man. So
Fair
maybe,
enough, man.
maybe private jet
Fair enough.
is a better option.
Speaking of shows, I'm kind of curious. When you think back of one of like your most memorable moments on stage, does one pop up at all, or is it so many that you can't remember?
Uh, there are many, but basically I've had many memorable moments on stage actually, because I usually I'm usually on stage on my birthday. I've usually been on stage on my birthday most years, so that's been a few good ones. And then obviously the ones that are close to Iran, the ones in Turkey, that's been like we had a festival with 12,000 people. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm just it feels like I'm talking about another lifetime or somebody.
It's just so long ago, your memory doesn't
It
serve you
feels like I'm
well.
lying. It feels like I'm talking to myself. It feels like I'm lying, but no, it's happened to me at some point. Yeah, no, we'll be back.
What is one of your favorite songs to perform live?
Um, Hamohanga, I think, is one of the best ones to perform live.
Is it because of like a connection that you have to having written it or singing it, or because of the reaction that
Yeah,
it gives the crowd?
yeah, it's because of the reaction. Because usually when we sing that song, usually is at the peak of the concert. So it's usually the best energy we get out of that song. But I love all my songs. I usually write my songs specifically for a stage. Like when I'm writing my songs, what I'm thinking about is not how it's gonna do on different websites or how it's gonna do on YouTube or what. I'm solely and specifically writing for the feeling that it's gonna give people when I'm performing it. So when I'm writing it, I'm imagining how it's gonna feel like to be on stage and singing it with people. So that's how I write my choruses. So that's what my songs take so long. And again, to my all my fans, I'm so sorry for not releasing songs faster, but this is how it's gonna be. It just takes so much time, and especially when I hear these other songs come out, and I see how educated people are and how harsh they are on bad music. So I can't do bad music. And
Right.
hopefully, the songs that I've done have been good, and I've done few songs, but most people like them.
I mean, you know what's interesting about you, man, and I really can't think of any other artist that does it as well as you do. And that is that there's obviously two types of Iranians. There's the ones that are like super Iranian, grew up in Iran, live in Iran, and even the ones that they leave Iran are still so connected to Iranian community that they pretty much are the same as inside of Iran. And then there's people like me and you that we have like our hearts in Iran, but we had to kind of adapt to the world outside of it. You in Sweden and US, me in Germany and US, and then there's a couple million of us like that. And you're one of the only artists that can actually speak to both of them, and literally like the super Persians adore you, and then even people like me, they also connect with you. And um is that something that how do you feel about that, the fact that, because I can't think of any other artist that does it. Do you think of any, do you know of any other artists that are able to kind of capture all sides of Iranians?
Yeah, people still think I left. I'm one of those generations that left Iran, like in later years. People don't think that I never lived in Iran. So,
Hmm, that's
so
true.
yeah, they think I'm from that generation that came later. So, but it's not that it's something that I've done. I think it's mostly the music that does that, and maybe yeah, I think it's mostly the music that does it. It's not anything in me specifically, but it's the music that I keep the traditional uh, colors in my music, maybe, uh, and maybe it's because I really don't know, but it's a blessing. Anyways, it's a blessing for me, and I love both aspects of me, and I love the Persian part of me, and I love the other side that's been growing out and seeing the Iranians outside because that's a culture. Like I'm not Swedish. I'm Swedish Persian. That's another culture for itself. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to have been experiencing both actually. Maybe I wasn't in my earlier years when you're going through your struggles and you feel like, what am I doing this like whole battle, being like all these things, dealing with racism when we were in Sweden. But now, like I've experienced it. Now that I'm almost mid-age, I've experienced it, so I'm actually proud of it. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy coming out and keeping the balance. But at some point in my life, I decided to go. Even though I'm living outside Iran, I decided to still be Iranian instead of changing, because I went to music school in Sweden, and we were just producing like Western music, like pop and these kind of stuff, and hip hop, and I could easily got into that field, but I was coming and studying music, but I was performing in Farsi and Persian music with my friends. So at some point there, I made a decision to not go that route and stay Iranian.
Would you say it's music the main glue that has kept you to being
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
yeah, okay.
For sure, yes, for sure. And
So
that's how I communicated with my Iranian friends. That's because we had a band, and that's how I learned Farsi. That's how I kept speaking Farsi, and didn't get didn't go the Swedish way.
do you I know you say you never lived in Iran, but like do you have you ever visited Iran and
Oh yeah,
celebrated
yeah,
Norouz in Iran?
yeah. I visited all this time until 2004 when I decided to like do music. Then I started planning to get out of Sweden, and instead of every year going back to, because I was going back to Iran every year for summer like everybody else does, until 2004, and I had my friends there. But 2004, I decided to do music, and I started planning, instead of every year going to to Iran. I started planning my life to visit U.S. and come to LA and have my connections this side. So from 2004 دیگه به قول ایرانی‌ها قید ایران رو دیگه کم کم زدم و شروع کردم کار کردن.
Did you spend any Norouzes in Iran? Do you have any memories of Norouz in Iran?
Very vague. When I was maybe 5 or 6.
Do you have a fond memory of Norouz or a cool story around Norouz that you'd like to share?
Yeah, it was the 80s.
The 80s. That's the last time that you had great memories from the 80s.
Yeah, it was the 80s. It was the money. It was when we went to my Khoda biyamorze, my grandpa always had like new bills, fresh bills for us, for me and my sister.
Smelled so good.
Yeah, and we didn't know how much we were gonna get. We know it was a lot. Compared to everybody else, we would get a lot. But we didn't know how much he was, and he would torture us. He would just drag them out one by one. Like, it would take him like 2 hours for him to just drag these bills one by one. I'm like, is it done? I'm like, no, maybe 2 more. He would just drag them. And yeah, good memories, man. Good memories.
So what I'm kind of curious of what kind of like surprise performance do you have for us today? Like, what are you gonna bless us with?
Well, you were before I was hearing you like, we have a live performance. I was like, no, we don't have a live performance.
Well, yeah, I should have mentioned I thought I meant acoustic, you know.
Yeah, we have I'm in my studio, and I was thinking I do owe my fans and everybody something this year, since I didn't release anything. So I have my guitar here.
For sure. Well, how about this? How about you give a Norouz message however way you want it to be, and then do your song, and then we'll see. That's it. I don't want to keep you for too much longer. You know, I still have to spend many more hours, but I don't want to keep you up. I want you to go enjoy your thing. But I know that your fans just want to hear your performance at this point. So I'll let you do your thing. Feel free to give a Norouz message and rock on, brother.
I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I wish you best of luck. And
a lot of coffee.
And the crew, yes. Thanks to every one of you. My Norouz message is just I'm gonna say this in Farsi basically که قدر دوربری همدیگر بدونید، خودتون رو بدونید، قدر همدیگر بدونید. امسال به ما نشون داد که چقدر زندگی ها ظریف و نحیفه و چقدر زود میتونه دیر بشه برای اینکه آدم به دوربریاش بگه که دوستشون داره. So از این فرصت استفاده کنیم به همه بگیم که دوستشون داریم. I love you ایمان جون.
I love you too, man.
And همین دیگه. انشالله که امسال سال بهتری باشه برای همه و انشالله که همه رو از نزدیک ببینم و دوباره برگردیم به روزای خوب.
And someone before you do your performance, man, or whatever you want to call this one, you know, I genuinely want to tell you that I'm extremely proud of you, dude, and I'm so glad that you're using your talents for good, and you're touching a lot of people. You're making people very happy, and just by being who you are, I have no doubt that you're making a profound impact on the lives of a lot of people. And so I just love seeing my friends do great things, and I just can't wait to see what else is ahead of you, because you're only going to climb to higher levels. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it's your man, Sami Beigi, doing what he does best.
تو دلم همیشه هستی، پیش رو مگه نباشی، عاشقت که میشه باشم، آرزو که میشه باشی، دوری و ازم جدایی ولی کنج دل یه جایی داری، مثل نبضی تو وجودم که میزنی بی صدا. شب و وقتی تو تنهایی پریشونه، سراغ تو میگیره این دل دیوونه، جواب خستگی هم توی درمونم، خودت نیستی هنوزم از تو میخونم تو فکر داشتنت مثل خود مجنونم امید آخرم عشقت شده جونم از این شبهای دل تنگی دیگه خستم از این حسی که اسمشو نمیدونم کس نمیدونه این دل دیوونه وقتی میگیره از تو میخوام من فقط میخوام که باشم تا برای تو فدا شم کس نمیدونه این دل دیوونه وقتی میگیره از تو میخوام من فقط میخوام که باشم تا برای تو فدا شم. Happy New Year everybody.